Welcome to the UST Education recorded webinar series. This session is powered by US Transactions. UST is a boutique payment processing firm providing you with personalized service. We offer agnostic, best fit technology solutions for associations, nonprofits, and enterprise clients.
All right. Well, welcome. I love the um, answers in the chat. Double word scores. Okay, that's Scrabble, Tobin. But again, welcome to the Jeopardy Style Association Ethics Showdown. Test your knowledge and win. Are you ready to test your knowledge and win some money? Remember, the money is fake, but the learning is very real. So let's have some fun and sharpen our ethical thinking together. I'm your host for today, Adrienne Bryant, CAE, ICE, I am the program director for the Customer Experience Professionals Association, and I oversee our credentialing program. And there are a lot of ethical situations that come up with credentialing. So that's one of the reasons why I'm so interested in this. All right. Because our time together is limited, because who doesn't want to spend the whole day talking about ethics? We're just going to focus on a few of the questions. So we've only chosen our odd number questions, as you will see, because, sometimes ethical things can be a little odd. I'm going to ask three audience members to volunteer to compete. I am not afraid to self-select people either. And they will keep track of their winnings ethically, of course. Um, it's the whole thing's a bit like Whose Line Is It Anyway? The show where everything is made up and the points don't matter, but the conversations are top notch. Contestants will use their raise hand function to buzz in. So remember, as in Jeopardy, all your responses must be in the form of a question. And finally, at about 15 minutes left, we'll go directly to our final Jeopardy question. All right, it looks like we've got some we've got some people voting for other people to join us. So I I see a couple of names. I always like to pick my familiar people. So I think I am going to pick on one person to join us. And that's going to be Barbara Armentrout, CAE, if she wouldn't mind joining us as a contestant today. I would love to have her. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to pick on Tobin. I think I'm going to pick on Tobin. What y'all don't know is I have a video of Tobin in Atlanta marching with the band. He probably does not remember that, but all right. And one final contestant. Do we have um any other, must the responses be in the form of a question? Anyone else who would like to? I can't see all of you, unfortunately, so let's see. All right. Then I'm going to pick on one final person that I know in the audience. Ping. I'm going to pick on you. So if Barbara, Tobin, and Ping, if you guys could come on camera for me, I would appreciate it.
All right, for them to come off camera, I'm gonna have to change the security settings really quick.
Okay.
And
Well, that's dangerous.
I should be able to do that now.
Oh, awesome. Wonderful. Look at those beautiful faces. I love it. I love it.
Hey, Ping.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for agreeing to be my contestants today. I really appreciate it. So we're just going to do this like normal Jeopardy. I'll choose one of you to start for us, and then you'll just select the category, and then we will talk about that. The double Jeopardy categories are audience participation. So if you choose a double Jeopardy, then the entire audience will be able to answer the question. Oops.
How do we ring in?
You're going to raise your hand in order to ring in.
Okay.
Oops. Well, that didn't quite work for me. All right, I'll just leave you right here so I can see you. All right, did we get Tobin unmuted?
Oh, I'm that guy who always buzzes in too early.
Yeah.
Doing this with the remote. And he's
Well, fortunately, you'll be able to read the whole question. So, all right. Since I picked on her first, Barbara, I'm going to let you choose the first category.
Well, why don't we make it fun and go with the audience on ethics defined for 100?
All right. Ethics defined for 100.
Everybody gets to participate, right?
Yes. All right, everybody, put your answer in the chat. Ethics is defined as laws governing business practices, principles of conduct governing an individual or group, rules for social media usage, or guidelines for financial reporting. Okay, we got a lot of B's. So what it's B. Thank you very much. Great job. Great job. A lot of B's.
But Ping followed the rules and she raised her hand. So give her some
like, am I supposed to answer? I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Ping. Go ahead and answer.
B.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's take a look here. Principles of conduct governing an individual or group. Good job.
tell her what you want, Adrian.
Sorry.
I really just want to be Johnny Olson. Actually.
Oh, okay. You're crazy. Great job. Yes. Thank you for that defining ethics. So we're going to be looking a lot at, what principles govern our individual and group thoughts here. All right. So back to the board. So Ping, with ring in, you get to choose the next category.
Oh, let's do ethical leadership.
Okay, for
100.
100. Okay. All right. An association CEO consistently selects the same few volunteers for high visibility committees and speaking roles, many of whom are personal friends. Other qualified members feel excluded and disengaged. Is there an ethical issue in this instance? Tobin.
What is heck yes?
Okay. And why?
Oh, there's a two-part question.
It's
okay.
A two-part, yes.
Well, because it is, there are so many different reasons why. One, it shows undue bias. Two, it disenfranchises the membership. Three, it leads to a more myopic set of responses. If you're always going to the same well for whatever reason, actually, if you're going to the same well because they're subject matter experts and they're few and far between, that's one thing. But because you're cronies, bad idea, James. Definitely.
Awesome. Ping or Barbara, do you have anything additional you'd like to add?
Well, I'd say it probably violates whatever guidelines they have, but that's presuming they have guidelines for choosing who's supposed to serve.
Yes, yes. One of the questions that I have is, how do we currently identify and select volunteers for high visibility roles? And is that process transparent and inclusive? That's one of your ethical best practices that you want to have, is just making sure, like Barbara said, what have we identified as the process? Ping.
No, I think they've got it covered.
Awesome. All right. That's $100 to Tobin. All right, Tobin, We're going to let you choose the next category.
We'll go with ethical leadership for 300, please.
All right.
To run the category.
Run the category. The association is facing financial challenges that will affect member services. Staff leadership chooses not to inform the board or members yet, hoping to resolve it quietly first. Is there an ethical issue in this instance, Barbara?
Well, I had to ring in before you finished reading it because, I'm falling behind here.
That's okay.
Well, I mean, we were just talking transparency. I think this flies in the face of transparency. So I can understand wanting to resolve it quietly first, but if it affects member services, no, we can't do this. Yeah. And there's money involved. Come on. No.
Right.
And yes, Teresa Kramer Burgess just put it depends on how long yet is. And I agree with that, but I'm presuming that if it's finances, it's probably been at least one monthly reporting cycle, if not more. Let's nip this in the bud.
Yeah. Ping, Tobin, anything to add?
I think the wiggle here is financial challenges. I mean, is it a financial crisis or a financial challenge? We all face challenges, but you also don't want to hit the panic button too early. So I would say we need more information to make absolutely sure. I mean, it's never a bright line, but it could be an order of magnitude thing.
Although reporting isn't necessarily hitting the panic button, but I know what you're saying, Tobin. Yeah.
Well, to your point, you're absolutely right. It's how it's reported, how you share the information. Transparency is great, but sometimes the whole truth, and nothing but the truth can get you into trouble. But not that you want to be too selective with it either. So it really, mileage varies based on the circumstances. Ping, what do you think?
Well, I agree. And also the board, they're the fiduciary, so they need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's kind of a fine line because it depends on how long. So, but keeping them informed, I think, is really important and could lead to some serious issues down the road if they're not informed.
Yeah.
That's true. These concentric circles, the board being informed is different from sending out the panic signal to the membership. So yeah.
Right. And I love the comment that Shruti made in the chat. Not being transparent is an ethical issue. Definitely for sure. That was one of the questions that I had to ask was, is it ethical to delay transparency to avoid panic? And no, it's not. No, you guys did great. So Barbara, that's $300 to you. All right, Barbara, you're
Oh,
up.
okay.
Into the lead.
Let's do ethical contact for one. That's an intriguing label.
Okay, ethical contact for 100. A vendor offering services that they think are relevant to your organization has sent you an email proposing a meeting to discuss the potential of working together. After no response to their initial email, they resend the same message 4 times with subject lines like following up and hope you saw this. Is there an ethical issue in this instance? And I got Tobin.
I would say
question.
What is no, but it's a pain in the backside. That's what it is. Not an ethical issue, but a pain. Bad form.
Okay. Barbara?
I agree. It's not an ethical issue. It's kind of like every single day in my email box.
Right. For sure. Ping, do you have any thoughts?
I agree. It's not an ethical issue. It's just annoying.
Okay, great. Now, I felt a little differently about this one. That's just interesting. I feel like it's unethical for a company to repetitively send promotional emails without consideration of the recipient. At a minimum, you want to make sure that there's a way to remove yourself from the list. And that should be honored promptly. And like you said, Barbara, there are um every day my inbox is full of these just following up to my previous message. I'm like, no, you didn't put, there's no way for me to, unsubscribe from it. There was no way for me to, other than
See, that's
responding.
additional information, Adrian. All I saw was after no response.
Yes, we
True,
don't, well, we don't know if they offered an unsubscribe on any of these messages.
true,
Right.
true,
So
absolutely
you can
true.
And
always
I
drop
like what
listen
Jess said,
too.
which is it's legal, not ethical.
Ah, yes.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah.
spam.
Bad
Spam.
judgment and bad ethics are not always the same. They often correspond, but not always.
Well, and I
Oh,
take great delight in reporting them after the third offense.
nice. I like that. I like that. Three strikes you're out. Um, and all right, so the host is wrong. So
No, we didn't say that.
There's no right or
no,
wrong. Everybody wins in this game.
no, I'm gonna take accountability for it. I think that the host in this case, based on popularity of no being the answer, the host is wrong. And Barbara, was it Barbara or Tobin who got it first? I can't remember.
It was Tobin.
Tobin. Okay, that's $100 to you. And I think what does that still leave Barbara in the lead?
Oh, now we got to do math. Oh my
I
gosh.
know, right? All right, Tobin, you're going to choose our next category.
Oh, I got to go with ethical IP, and I'll go for the Empanada Grande. 500. Let's
All
go for the
right,
big one.
Ooh.
ethical IP. While finalizing a member toolkit, a committee member includes charts and checklists from other websites without crediting the original sources. Some content may be copyrighted, but the committee member assumed it was public domain because it was freely available online. Is there an ethical issue in this instance? And I saw Tobin first.
What is AI? No, just kidding. Yes. What is yes? This is an ethical issue. Geez, that's yeah. Plagiarism is still plagiarism. So yes.
Plagiarism is still plagiarism, yes. King, what were your thoughts on this?
Well, it's definitely an ethical issue. It's also a legal issue. So,
Yes, 100. Yes, for sure. Barbara, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, and I feel bad for the committee member who seemed to have no guidelines or understanding of how to research something properly. But
Right.
yeah, this a no-no all the way around.
I'm actually facing that myself right now. I'm one of my groups is developing a course and they created their slide decks, and I know that I asked them to make sure that they provided the credit for each of the photos that they used, and they did not. So now I have to go through and find
Ugh.
photos for but yes, it is quite often the case that, despite the many years that we've been talking about this, that individuals are unaware of their intellectual property rights of content, especially when that content is posted on the internet or shared at a conference.
Mhm.
So just, it's always, nearly always, the right thing to do is just to attribute the content to its source, whether you think it's freely available or not. Make sure that you do that. And if you don't, if you go and copy pictures that you're asked to pay for, they're going to make sure there's a big O attribution on the picture. So
And
Hey,
Jacob asked an interesting question. Shouldn't a staff member be finalizing the toolkit? But some small staff organizations really have to rely on volunteers heavily.
right, right. I mean, that's why,
So
I mean,
ideally, yes, but
yeah. I mean, as the staff member working on this project, I did go through all of their slide decks, and that's how I found out that they did not do attribution.
mm,
And unfortunately, it became my job now to make sure all the photos are attribution. So, yeah. So,
mhm.
volunteers, tell them once, tell them twice, tell them three times. All right. Tobin, you're choosing our next category.
I'll go with ethical conscious inclusion for 500.
All right. Tobin's going for the big ones. All right. Your organization is under pressure to grow the certification program and increase visibility. Some suggest lowering eligibility requirements, like reducing required work experience or broadening what qualifies as relevant work. Supporters believe this would attract more applicants and reflect the field's evolution. Critics argue it could weaken the credential's value and misrepresent its meaning to employers. Is there an ethical issue in this instance? And I see Ping. I thought I saw Tobin, but
Oh, I thought Tobin was in first.
yeah, I
Tobin
know.
was
I thought I
actually
saw
first.
Tobin too.
Want to be that guy. So please ping.
I would say yes, that there is an ethical issue in this instance. You can't, I mean, certification is about meeting minimum qualifications for a particular profession or whatever, of a particular field. And so if you're suddenly lowering eligibility requirements just simply so you can get more people to become certified, I would say that that's a serious issue.
Barbara?
Well, yes, and I mean, I think I just need to read the chat aloud too, which is, what are the guidelines for the program? What have been the longstanding guidelines, presuming it's been around for a while? And how are the people who did the hard stuff going to feel about
Yeah.
someone doing the easy stuff and getting the same credential? You can create another one, but let's not dilute the hard work of what's been going on.
Well, I think it not only dilutes the hard work, but it's like what's the value of the
Yes,
credential?
misrepresent. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm loving a lot of the answers in the chat. Tobin, while I read those, Tobin, did you have anything to add?
I just think it could undermine the credulity of the program, the credibility of the program. So, yeah, you really have to think long and hard. Now, the only get out of jail free card I would say, just to be a contrarian, is if in fact there has been substantive change in the field's evolution, it can't be, I had to go through this hazing and so do you, even if it's not pertinent. So again, if I were supporting this move, I'd have to come with hard data to show that it's still rigorous and it reflects where the field is now.
And I think this is again another instance of it depends because there's what other outside information do we not know about. So I love what Laura Anderson says: if the standards are maintained, but given an altered pathway, then it wouldn't be ethical. I like the decision at play is not an ethical decision, but it is a business decision, which will require ethical disclosure of the change and needs to be considered the impact to the field. One of the things that I would ask, what are the reasons for doing this? Is this because of people are failing and maybe we need to look at providing a different credential because we don't have enough candidates in the field that really know what we're this particular one, or is the change purely for financial gain without considering its impact on the program integrity? That's another reason, other thing out there is are they doing this for financial gain? If that's the case, then it's definitely unethical.
Good question. I love the chat. These are very
Yeah.
insightful scenarios.
Yes, definitely. I love all of it. Okay, Ping, back to the board.
Let's do ethical conscious inclusion for 300.
All right, awesome. During a networking mixer, a member overhears a series of comments about their accent and gender identity made to other participants. The comments made the member uncomfortable enough to mention it to U.S. staff, though they do not want to file a formal complaint. You know the individuals involved, but did not directly hear the comments. Is there an ethical issue in this instance, Tobin?
I would say what is yes, there is, but it's interesting. There's at least one. There may be a couple. It could be a twofer in terms of what do you do with it. I mean, there could be an ethical issue in terms of how you respond, and there's certainly an ethical issue in the prime mover of the initial comments. So
Mm, mm.
I don't know.
Mm,
What do others think? What is unfortunately without a doubt. I love that.
right.
Well, and what is their code of conduct? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what are the guidelines? And I mean, of course, some of this is just social etiquette. I mean, do we really need a code of conduct to not be an asshole? Um, a-
Yeah. Ping.
Rule number 5, do not be.
yes,
Ping, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, in answer to Barbara, I think these days we do.
I know. We do.
Um, love the chat. The behavior was unethical. So one of the things that I would say, even though there's no formal complaint, you witnessed part of the exchange and you know the individuals involved. So do you speak up? What responsibility does the association have to
Well, I
what
was going
they
to say this
hear?
isn't asking us what action we would take.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. These are just things to think
yeah.
about.
Issues. Yeah.
Um, just adding, if we added that particular layer to it, what we do, what does an ethical response look like in an informal setting? What do you think about that?
Speak up.
Yeah.
Well, speak up to clarify. You know, identify what the facts are in the situation,
Right.
gently, not accusingly, but pin down if what you were told is what happened,
I love
and
it.
then speak up some more.
And Teresa speaks to the question I had.
Ah,
What is microaggression? Was there a stated policy that all participants are to be respected? And another question that I had was how should microaggressions be addressed, even if they seem quote unquote minor?
And then there's the alcohol question that Teresa also brought up. Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, true, 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 true. All
Yikes.
right. Next question.
Okay, let's go. What do we got left? Let's do ethical contact for 500, please.
500. Okay. A staff member shared that they recently received a $150 Dorget Dash gift certificate from a supplier to the industry during their absence from work due to a medical crisis. The gift certificate was sent via LinkedIn with the message sending healing vibes. I hope that this helps make recovery easier for you and your household. Barbara, saw your hand first.
where do I begin? I mean, the first thing I want to know is how did the supplier know that the
Yeah.
person was home with a medical issue?
Mm,
And just yeah, I mean that's part of where I'm starting. There's such an invasion of the whole privacy situation there and who disclosed what and why.
right.
And then there is the question of accepting, there should be a policy on what gifts may or may not be accepted. And
Mhm.
it seems like a lovely thing to do, but I don't know, $150 and feel better, that feels,
So
it smells to me.
Yeah.
it's a lot of chicken
In the
soup,
form of a
Barbara.
question, yes.
In the form of a question, yes. I mean, I just based on reading it, I would assume that this person that they must be friends or contacts on LinkedIn, since the certificate was sent via LinkedIn. So maybe the person posted something. That's a whole other thing for me, how LinkedIn has become our new Facebook, but that's okay. Um, Ping, do you have anything that you wanted to add to the conversation?
Well, I was reading the comments and I agree that it just depends. I mean, if there's a policy prohibiting that, then, yeah, that's definitely an issue. Um, But if there's not a policy, I think there's gray area. I mean, $150 is pretty significant. It's not like it's, $10. Um, so I don't
Well,
know. I think it
and
depends.
if it had delivered to me at work for the same, the same rationale, I would have shared it with everybody on staff, kind of thing, you know?
That's true. That would have been more appropriate as opposed to just taking it and not telling anyone and thinking, oh, maybe no one will find out.
Well, except they did say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so let's ask this question. Does the nature of the gift change the ethical consideration? Is it a personal gift for health recovery viewed, or is a personal gift for health recovery viewed differently than a gift tied to a business transaction? What do you think about that?
I think it's a blurry line.
Yeah, for sure. No, I would agree that you have to have a policy. What does the policy say? Um, and I think
And
that's
if that
pretty much.
employee is reviewing a contract from that vendor, what's the
Mm-hmm,
first thing they're going to remember? You know?
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of great conversation in the chat. I love everything. All right, back to the board. Do we want to do a daily double for the group to interact a little bit more?
Sure, let's do daily
Yes.
double for 500. How's that?
Oh, ooh, 500. What is an ethical dilemma? A situation where a person cannot decide which personal preference to follow, when someone violates company policy and faces disciplinary action, a situation in which a person faces two or more conflicting moral choices, or choosing one option may compromise another ethical principle, or D, when someone disagrees with the supervisor's opinion during a meeting. Ping.
C.
You say C?
C. Yeah.
C. Okay. Sorry. My
What
hearing's
is C?
going.
What is
Charlie.
What
C?
is
What
C?
is
Yeah.
C?
What is C?
What is C?
Yes.
With the assist from Tobin, does anybody disagree?
Looks like it's C's across the board in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes. Be funny if it were D.
I know, right? But it's not. It
Yeah,
is C. It is C. Yes, thank you. Awesome.
it could
Why
be
does Jess think it is the
5%.
best answer but not accurate? I'm curious.
Uh-oh,
Just
Jess.
because, sorry, because you don't have to be stuck between two moral issues for there to be an ethical issue at play. There can just
Okay.
be one.
Okay.
Okay.
That,
Okay. I can see that.
thank you for
Okay.
that clarification.
She was disagreeing with the supervisor's opinion during a meeting. Okay, there you go. Well played.
I love it. I love it. All right. Who's next? I forgot already.
I think Ping had that one.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Let's do ethical leadership for 500.
Ethical
Woohoo.
leadership for 500, closing out the category. A prominent member makes inappropriate comments during a webinar. Leadership hesitates to take action due to the individual's status and influence in the association.
I've never seen this. Shocked to hear there's gambling going on here.
Got to agree. Yes.
Okay. Ping.
What?
What were your thoughts on this one?
Oh, yes, I totally agree. And there could also be legal issues as well.
Barbara?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yes. And and I'm sorry, leadership hesitates to take action. I just want to grow them a spine, you know?
Yeah, right. Some of the discussion points that I came up for this one, if you want to take this back to your office, does ethical leadership require accountability regardless of status? What message does inaction send to other members and stakeholders? And how should misconduct be addressed to protect the culture? Um,
Mhm.
Teresa says depends.
Like that.
They not want to address during the webinar or not at all. Sending a notice after the meeting when calmer heads prevail could be done.
It depends on exactly what was said and how it was done. I mean, you can make a little joke out of something along the line of, well, thanks, but I'm sure you really didn't mean to say that. So let's get ourselves back on track kind of thing. It just depends on the level of egregiousness.
Right. And
And
I
if you're
kind of
afraid
feel
you're going
like,
to be fired, well, then, you don't want to work for that one anyway.
well, that's true. And I kind of feel, I mean, do you also think it's a case you've got to know your audience? Can you, I agree with you, Barbara, but, if you kind of pushing it off like that, do you feel that there might be further issues?
Additional action. Well, I mean, really, I want to go back to before the webinar started. Why wasn't this prominent member properly coached before we made them live, for heaven's sakes?
Oh, Barbara, you can lead them to water. Come on.
I know,
I know,
right?
I know, I know, I know. And they
Coaching should take
still,
place, I agree, but
yes, they still come online and burp. Yes, okay. But yeah, it can be done, but saying nothing is wrong. I agree with Amy. It can be done diplomatically in many cases, not always.
Yes,
And
yes.
there are some times when leadership's going to have to send out a, retraction.
Yeah, true, true, true.
yeah.
Let's see, where are we? Okay, we've got 3 minutes before Final Jeopardy.
Oh
Where do,
my.
where do we want to go next?
Well, why don't we do another daily double?
All right.
Oh, it's not my turn to
No,
act.
daily double's
Oh,
fine. Yeah, daily double's fine.
okay. Daily double for 300. Professional ethics is defined as the emotional intelligence. Oops, sorry. The emotional intelligence that a person uses to build relationships at work. The strategies professionals use to market their services and gain a competitive advantage. Moral standards and expectations in a workplace or profession. The social customs and traditions specific to a cultural group that professionals are encouraged to follow. Tobin,
What is C?
what is C?
Moral standards and expectations in a workplace or profession.
Does anyone
Going
disagree?
down that road.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, well, we could have an angry mob here because I got a bunch. I'm looking at if I'm current, I'm looking at a lot of C's, but
I'm looking
what
at a
would you
C.
say? Give me an alternative. Let's hear an alternate point of view.
Me?
Yeah. If not C, which one?
Oh, let's see. Well, I could make a case for. I really, honestly, I don't think I can make it. I wrote the question,
Okay.
so I don't think I can really make a case for any of them. Um,
Be unethical.
I
Maybe D.
mean,
I'm
D
sure
would
it's
be the only
maybe
one
D.
that I
I
would
can
like.
see D edging in, but it's nah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Jamila said maybe D. Okay, yeah. Thanks, D. Thanks for Team D. Let's see what
But
the
I
real
think D would
answer.
influence C. Yeah.
Mm,
True, true,
norms.
true. Well, the correct answer is C. We've got such a smart, uh, smart players and smart audience. You guys are awesome. You guys are super awesome. All right. Well, we are at 144. So I'm ready to go to Final Jeopardy. If you are, you guys have gotten through a lot more questions than some of my previous groups, but still had great discussion. I love all the discussion in the chat. I love all the responses in the chat. I like want to capture all of those because they were so great. But we're gonna go ahead to Final Jeopardy. Contestants, if you've been keeping track of your money, you may now place your wager. And we're going to go to the final Jeopardy question, which is notable association ethics history. What are the three
Oi.
audiences addressed in the ASAE Standards of Core Conduct standards of conduct, core ethical standards.
Well, I wagered all my beans and I don't know the answer.
All right, we've got
I don't even know how much
board.
money I have.
I know. We've got board, staff, and
Board.
members coming in, staff members board,
Well, that feels logical, but
volunteers,
volunteers, okay.
staff members, okay. Member, staff, board, okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock,
No.
paper,
Member,
scissors.
staff.
Member, staff,
Ooh,
executive committee.
committee. Wow.
But why would it be executive committee, Jamila, and not the whole damn board? I'm sorry, the whole board.
Good question. We've got staff members in public.
I don't know.
That's a new one. Jamila's like,
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
That's not wrong date, but yeah, okay.
Would it be those who were living and those who were recently dead? I mean,
Oh my.
shouldn't it be everybody?
Look, and unfortunately, because we still always have a lot of recently dead members in our membership numbers, I could see that being one. President, treasurer, and executive director. All right. Well, let's see what the answer is. It's going to be association professionals and executives, consultants, and industry partners.
I wasn't even thinking in those buckets.
I wasn't either.
And I'm in one of the buckets. We were all in one of the buckets.
Right? We're all in one of those buckets. And you can find this. You can just go and Google or Chat GPT or whatever. Standards of ASA standards of conduct, core ethical standards, and that will.
That's a name that just flows off the tongue, isn't it?
I know, right? Every time I say it, I'm like, okay, am I saying it right? I think it's the double standards in there that messes me up. But yeah, you can read this, get this from ASAE. Also on ASAE is their toolkit. Just Google ASAE ethics toolkit. You can download that. It's got tons of samples. So if you want to create policies, it's got tons of samples in there of just for everything, social media, whatever you need. It's got tons in there. Riley, do we have time for one more question?
Yes, y'all do.
Okay. Let's see here. We'll go back to the board. So let's go ahead and do one more question.
How about ethical IP for 300?
That's okay. Ethical IP for 300. As education manager, you're asked by a board member to post a popular conference speaker slides and recording on the public website.
Tobin, you're so fast.
Yes. The speaker's contract didn't include permission to share beyond attendees. The board member insists the association paid for it and should share it freely. Tobin.
Yes. What is, oh my God. I love that. A lot of other people were not muted. They'd probably say the same thing. Yeah, big bozo no there. Yeah. No. You've got a contract that did not include permission to share, and people take a broader view of that and say, oh, come on, I bought it, I paid for it. I'm going to put it on the dark web. Right. So, yeah.
And this is why we don't have board members helping us do decks,
Right. Ping, did you have
Yes, ethical and legal.
Yes, I was going to say it's also a legal issue.
Legal issue, yeah, for sure. And I think foremost, it's a legal issue for sure, because again, we had a contract that specifically stated. So yeah.
And what's worse is we may be facing the situation where it wasn't something they bought and paid for. They just scraped it with AI,
Oh, this is true too. Oh, I love Valerie's comment. I can't be the only one here who's been reminded of very specific members throughout this
session. Stories you have heard are true. The names have been changed.
Exactly. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for being such an awesome audience. You have been wonderful. Um, One of the things that just what I like to do is just make sure that you have some action items to take away. So, share a key takeaway with your peers or staff. Commit to sharing one insight, framework, or scenario from the session in a team meeting. Teaching others reinforces your learning and begins to shift culture. Again, review the ASA ethics toolkit for associations. Again, this is something you can Google, it should come right up. Ensure your team has access to this simple, clear, ethical decision making tool. For example, the questions you want to ask: is it legal? Is it fair? Would I want this public? For our CAEs, LERP, legal, ethical. Um, why did I do that?
How come I can't remember the R?
Legal, ethical. Dang it, it's going to come to me afterwards. So, and then just make sure you're embedding ethics into your leadership and event planning. Use your next board meeting, committee planning session, or even an event to debrief to intentionally ask, have we considered inclusion, equity, transparency, and ethical implications in this plan? This encourages ongoing ethical leadership at all levels of the organization. Legal, ethical, reasonable, and practical. Thank you, Shruti.
Reasonable, yay.
Love it. Thank you, Sky, so much. Um, I love it. Um, all right, just real quick, is there any feedback? How did you think the session went? Is there something I could have done better? Does anyone have any quick questions?
This was fun. This was great.
Good. I'm
You
glad.
made ethics fun.
Yay! That was my intention. Goal
And
met.
that is no small feat.
But every scenario rang true,
Yes, yes.
sadly.
And you're like Pink said, you're all winners. Our audience, you're all winners. You guys did a fantastic
Oh,
job. You did a fantastic job. Yep.
hey,
That's
Greg,
me
amen.
and Greg Melia, CAE. He's usually the one that co-hosts this with me. He could not do it this time. So,
Mm,
but much thanks to everyone for your participation today.
hmm Thank you. And I love Jamila's suggestion to do a game for each domain. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, oh.
Oh,
All right, Jamila.
Make it a road show. Yes.
We could do that. We could do that for sure. So, Riley, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite session out of all the time I've been at UST Ed. So I know there's other speakers in the chat, so I probably shouldn't say that, but this was a lot of fun.
I'm crushed. Riley, I'm crushed.
I know this was just a lot of fun. This was
Man.
so much fun. I definitely enjoyed it. But your last question for today is going to be, what is your most important takeaway from today's webinar? And I'm going to go ahead and encourage everybody to put your answer into chat.
And Jamila, I will be hitting you up because I love that idea.
Oh, it's never a dull moment. It's not boring.
Yeah, right.
And there are always more scenarios. Oh, my
Yeah,
word. Yes.
ethics aren't clear cut.
Well, this was absolutely amazing. I'm so appreciative for having all of y'all participate, and it was such a good session. It really was. And everybody was so engaging in the chat. I'm going through and reading some of these comments now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just as a reminder, this is recorded, so this will be on our media library, and you'll receive a link from me tomorrow with that.
Well, and I want to comment on Catherine Murphy's comment about lots of scenarios we need more information. But that's also what makes them so true life, because
Yeah.
so often we're being asked to make a decision on something where we don't have all the information we need
For sure.
to do it properly.
For
So,
sure. For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, great point. Great points.
That's a good bridge to Krista's subsequent comment about working through the nuances, because it
Yeah.
is part of the process, is getting to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Daggone it, that's what they pay us for. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I agree. I like what Jamila said that, don't let the topic sit in the background till it's too late. Teresa, ethics need to be publicized and staff board, etc.,
Mhm.
need to be educated. This isn't a one
Right.
time just get your CAE credit. This is a daily. You should be thinking about this on a daily basis and thinking about the different situations that you encounter, and just make sure that you're educating yourself and your fellow colleagues
Mhm.
on this. So
And I dedicated this session to certain people that I've worked with in the past and won't in the future.
love it. I love it.
Oh, and Adrian, thank you for that $150 gift certificate for being a contestant. I love my
You're welcome.
Yeah, DoorDash is there ringing the bell.
Well, I will tell you. I will tell you a story about that one. So originally, it was $75.
Mm.
But we did this for Cal SAE in December, and we decided that it needed to be a higher amount for California. And so I just never went back and put it back to $75. So,
a cup of coffee. Feel better.
right.
Well, was it a grande or a tall? I don't know.
Right. Well, that is probably about $75 is probably about the
Yeah,
price
I
of a
was gonna
coffee
say.
cuppy at this point. Like, the way things are going. But again, just I want to say thank you again. You guys really, you made this fun for me. As I told Riley, I don't like to, I think that education should be fun, and that's a way to help people remember things much better. So thank you for making this fun for me. Thank you, Barbara, Tobin, and Ping, for allowing me to pick on you to be our contestants. Thank you, Riley and UST Education, for allowing me to be able to present this topic to everyone.